not the easiest player or hero to play, as you have to be very aggressive, and when you can't regen up at all, that wand doesn't tick, your natural health regen not ticking, it actually can be very doable to bring the Bristleback down.
And I think the Disruptor too. I don't know if I would play Bristleback into Disruptor.
Yeah.
You know, a relocation can actually just take you right out of the fight.
It can push you out or bring you back in. A lot of times Bristleback is treading on a thin line between feeding and carrying. And when you can glimpse him back into the fight or glimpse him out of the fight, that's a very hard thing to deal with as a Bristleback.
Yeah. Well, unlike LoL, you can't really see when somebody chooses a jungler and they pick up their summoner spells. Something I'm not real big on, but usually you can tell who's going to be playing in the jungle. Batrider could be mid or jungle. What do you think?
Yeah, Batrider could definitely be played anywhere. He could actually be played in any lane, because if they run an aggressive try, he's a very good safe lane solo. Or he could be played in the off lane, mid or jungle. So you really never know where Bat's going to be played.
I suppose, yeah, I feel kind of like Disruptor and Ancient Aberration would make a pretty good aggressive tri lane.
Yeah, they do. In the right hands, it's also kind of a dangerous tri lane, as they don't have it much guaranteed. If you're not getting that kinetic field off, you're probably not going to land the cold feet either, which then means that that person can just walk away or walk right at you and kill you. So
yeah. And how are tri lanes in the meta right now?
Tri lanes have been very popular in Dota for quite a while, and right now it's kind of the obvious choice for most pro teams when they're trying to guarantee farm for someone. Even most jungling heroes are considered relative tri lanes, like Enchantress and Shen. Even Enigma, because they bring so much lane presence with their constant harass and ganks.
Yeah. Certainly you don't want supports that are going to be pushing the lane. The pickup of the Sven, I think, makes it pretty obvious that Batrider is not going to be bottom with Ancient Disruptor. It's probably going to be AA Disruptor and Sven bottom, possibly Batrider mid. Now they're going to look for a top solo. Yeah,
Sven does actually bring the guaranteed stun to this tri lane, which makes obviously the kinetic field and cold feet a lot easier to land, and especially since the storm bolt from Sven is magic damage. That ice vortex will make that do increased damage. So if you combo it properly, it's an incredible amount of early game burst. So I could see it in the aggressive position, but it'd be difficult to do, in my opinion. You're still putting out a lot of risk.
Like Krabba actually taking out. Say that again.
You're doing a lot of risk. You're bringing yourself a lot of risk and going in that aggressive tri lane.
Well, Sven's one of those heroes that if you start getting levels and items and you get your BKB, you have to play around the BKB. You can't really fight when BKB is up. Certainly he's going to be trying to choose situations in which he has BKB available, but he's going to need a BKB to fight. And chosen heroes aren't going to want to fight when he has it up. I mean, it's enough said he gets so much bonus damage off of his what's the name of the passive? The
Warcry? It's inactive, but it is it lasts quite a while. It's a buff you give yourself and your allies. Or are you talking about the cleave?
Yeah. No, the cleave damage goes up to 65%. His God Strength, his ultimate, that gives the 200% bonus damage on level 3.
Yeah. The God Strength is very potent ability.
He just destroys people.
He really does, and
he just tears them apart.
In the next patch, they're actually reducing the cast time on it to pretty much nothing. So right now, when you pop it, it does kind of stop you to some degree, stop you from attacking or casting other abilities. But right now, but after that, it's going to be a lot easier to just get that off and just burst an entire team down potentially. And I do like this Darkseer pick.
Yes.
Personally, I think
for Bristleback Quills and Venomancer all.
I think they're going to actually run Bristleback in a tri lane here and have the Darkseer in the off lane, Viper mid. And a Bristleback tri lane is a very deadly thing, if pulled off correctly. It can also be the type of thing where your supports are just getting nothing and you're getting starved to death. If your Bristleback can't be as assertive as he wants to be, but in the right hands, it can be just the death of position 1 for the opponent team.
Well, I think one of the issues with Bristleback is that you're constantly running forward, but at the same time running backwards, because of course your passive isn't going off unless you're taking damage from a backwards angle. I don't even know if that makes sense, but from the back. So your supports have to be mobile supports. They have to be able to move backwards with you, because you certainly don't want to start a fight and then move backwards and put the other even your main damage dealer, someone like Viper, into a position where, they're going to die. Of course, Venomancer is going to die all the time. I think that's pretty much the point.
Yeah, Venomancer, as long as he gets his ult off, he can very easily die. His wards don't go away when he dies, his dots don't, so a death to Venomancer doesn't really mean that much, honestly, in the team fight. So I think you're very correct in that prediction.
Yeah, who do you see Angel playing?
I would guess the Viper, but I'm really not sure. I really have no idea.
It'd be great to see him on an aggressive support. I don't think that's really his style, though.
Yeah, I think he generally plays position 2, which an Alchemist pick. I really don't know where this
Yep,
Alchemist
is
is
your
going to be
final
played. Maybe mid, he might try to rush a quick medallion and just start ganking like crazy early, but I really don't
Put the
know.
Bat Rider up solo.
Yeah, it's very possible. They could even run Ancient Apparition mid, have the Alchemist as a support. He's a very strong support right now, but I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do it.
I've seen quite a few Alchemists top solo as well, just with those greed and what is it, acid spray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he can
Getting
be
pretty
played.
decent farm.
Definitely be played anywhere. It's not really an issue for him, as he can find some farm, and he's a pretty naturally tanky hero, so he can just survive most things.
All right, well, we're gonna see Team Krabba moving up into the top portion of the map, probably hoping to find somebody here. Do you think they got the better level 1 fight?
I think it's pretty even. Viper is a very good level 1 hero, depending on what he gets. If he gets his orb, it's very strong, and Bristleback can bring a lot of damage. But right now, chosen heroes don't seem to be grouped up, and there's a smoke going off by the
Oh, and a
Radiant
level 1
here.
smoke. This is actually gonna be really dangerous. Krabba seems pretty organized right now. We do know that we have a stand-in for Team Chosen Heroes, so maybe they're lacking a little bit of the communication that they're gonna need to win this.
I think they actually have 2 stand-ins, so yeah, it's definitely going to be an issue for them. In terms of communication.
Vengeful Spirit in some trouble here. Alchemist is gonna pop a stun. They're gonna find Vengeful Spirit coming up behind him. She's in trouble.
Yeah, that's going to be first blood here.
Stun going off on Bristleback. We think we're gonna have 2 kills immediately.
This is not a great start for Chosen Heroes. Not that they can't recover from this, but not exactly where you want to be early. And Bristleback did start with Quill Spray, so he doesn't have the Bristleback to protect him, but I think he'll get out of there just fine.
Well, Krabba immediately splitting up, going to take their chosen lanes. We see Alchemist probably going mid. Disruptor and AA, however, going to stay top.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to aggressive tri-lane with this Sven and let the Bat Rider solo bot with an Alchemist mid.
Well, like you said, we got the Darkseer bottom doing long lane solo. The Bat Rider's going to do the safe lane solo. Mid, we have Angel on the Viper and Sad Krabba on the Alchemist.
Mm-hmm. This is a very interesting game. Blood. Yeah, that we can't miss first blood. We got first blood, so can't take that away from us.
That was a hard one to miss.
Yeah, definitely hard to miss.
And you'll try. I know you'll try.
Yeah, I'll do my very best to miss every first blood possible. But gotta catch one every now and then.
Now I feel like this bottom lane is going to be pretty passive, for at least the first 7 to 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Right now we just have Vengeful Spirit pulling some creeps, stacking first, then gonna pull, get a little experience, and they're already going. Double Stormbolt followed by Cold Feet.
Yeah, this is going to be too aggressive. This Venomancer is definitely going down. There's just too much damage coming in. But a stun coming in on Sven. Bristleback is not going to be able to follow it up. Remember, there still are 3 heroes up for Krabba at this point. They got to be careful. That Sven stun is an AoE, so if you catch more than one person in a tri-lane, which it's certainly, that's the place you want to use it, more heroes to hit with it.
Most definitely. I think we're really coming down to here is, I believe there's 2 stand-ins in the top lane right now for Chosen Heroes, and a tri-lane is something that requires a lot of communication, and when you're playing with stand-ins, it's not the easiest thing to communicate.
Yeah, it takes a lot of dedication. If you're gonna go, somebody says go, you go, and that's it. And especially if it's the carry landing a stun, the supports I don't think say much about it. They just kind of go, and if it ends up 3 people dead, we got a pause coming in.
Yeah, pause coming up by the Zohan, who's Sven. A little bit of lag on his end, and neither of these teams are U.S. teams, so they are currently.
What servers are they playing on?
We're playing on US East, which is in between them. We have a South American team, primarily South American team, and a European team. So hopefully it's good all around for all of them.
Okay, looks like they're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single point in Grievel's Greed.
Yeah, that's not that surprising. A mid Alchemist will generally just max Acid Spray and Unstable Concoction, as they want to win that lane. The gold is nice, but if they don't win the lane, they don't get those levels and assert themselves across the map. It's kind of a wasted position too. Some will get a point maybe by level 8. 1 point in it just to help them get a little bit of extra farm, a little more items, especially if you're going something like a Shadow Blade. But Alchemist doesn't need that much farm to gank, so that's kind of the idea behind it.
And certainly nobody has a bottle up and running yet. Do you think we're going to see a bottle on somebody? They're not really going after rune control at this point. Rune spawned a good 50 seconds ago and nobody's too interested in looking for it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Right now we have a very interesting play coming out. The Batrider and the Darkseer. Creep block is going to maybe be his death. Yeah, that was a very unfortunate creep block. Just enough for the sticky napalm to stack up and get the last hit.
Well, and that's something about Batrider. If he has the stacks, his auto attack, even his auto attack is going to do a lot more damage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you don't want to see is a team 3-0 get what's the word? Demotivated. God, I don't know what the hell the word is.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty bad at English.
Even though you teach it for a living. No, I'm just kidding. You're doing fine. You're a very eloquent speaker and with a robust vocabulary.
I don't mind, actually. I just got up, drinking my morning coffee, took a shower. Cat
that Korea time.
At 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning. Sunday morning. I don't even know what day it is.
Beautiful.
Pretty gross, actually.
Yeah. Cats, they tend to do that, you know? Do things that you might wish they didn't.
Oh, dude. It's so bad sometimes. It's so bad. Like, yeah. I just want to... I mean, you love your cat, but holy shit.
Exactly. Pretty much sums up.
The Alchemist did pick up a bottle. So I'd like to think that this Alchemist is going to start trying to keep an eye on the runes. Top river is warded by both teams, so both mid heroes know that there's a rune spawn there. This Darkseer continuing to have a little bit of trouble. You know, Batrider able to farm from a range. So Batrider going to be getting last hits, Darkseer, not so many.
Yeah, and generally speaking, in the Darkseer, you like to put your Ion Shell on your creeps so it can push up the lane more effectively. But he's not unable to do that because the Batrider can just sticky napalm the creeps and pretty much take down the one creep that gets the Ion Shell. So he's forced to put it on the enemy creeps, which isn't quite as efficient. Still, it's the proper thing to do in this situation, but it's not exactly what you want to be doing.
Yep. We got the Alchemist moving top with a rune, with an illusion rune. Of course, there are pings, so they know this is coming.
Mm-hmm. He only has mana for a level 1 stun or acid spray, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a threat to them. They might not know that, but
okay, so
we do.
Really, he's just moving him backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Dire do not have a ward in their jungle. The Radiant have that jungle warded, so they're actually hugging tower right now, thinking that, well, and they saw Alchemist go back down through river, so they know Alchemist is no longer there.
And we do have a nice ward here by the Dire that's blocking out the pull, but that doesn't really matter because they don't have anyone to actually pull it. But that would matter if, say, one of the supports felt this tri-lane was getting a little wasted up top and wanted to rotate bottom. Would be unable to pull that small camp. But I don't think they need to. They're getting decent levels. They're all level 3. And no lower than the Dire are right now. It's pretty much even on the tops.
Yeah. Angel going home, why?
Probably he just wants to TP back. I'm not exactly sure. It might be that leg he was talking about affecting him. Oh, we see a smoke coming out.
Okay, so he's actually going to smoke up north, but this Alchemist is going to come in. I don't want to think that they're caught out. Yeah, I feel like this Alchemist might have overpushed a little bit.
He's got a haste rune though, so they don't really have any hard CC other than the VS stun. I think he'll be able to just run up just fine.
Well, both teams actually dedicating 4 people to this top lane, so both mid heroes missing out on experience that they would normally get.
Mm-hmm.
However, we did see that smoke picked up by Angel, and the smoke actually used right after he TP'd into the tier 2 towers. So, you know, I'd call it a loss of a little bit of gold, but
Yeah, a little bit of
Nothing to
gold,
go
but
home over.